How does a chance encounter in high school lead to sold-out improv shows, 6 marriages, a lifelong friendship, and the Ferris Bueller's Day Off movie?
Bueller.
Stick around and I'll explain as we get our trip groove on Chicago style. Rachel and I are headed to the airport here shortly to meet up with our eldest son, Christian, and his friends. Oh, to give you a little context, Christian, my son, flew out to Chicago a couple of days ago to officiate a wedding for a family member of one of his closest friends, Max. We plan to meet up with Christian, Max, and his wife, Tessa, the day after the wedding to explore Chicago together. Whew. So as we get ready to head out here, oh, hold on a second. I've got a call from Christian.
Hey Dad, I just made it to the wedding. It's really nice out here. I'm having a good time, but I'm feeling a little bit stressed. I'm still not feeling good. I'm running off Gatorade and saltines. Yeah, so hopefully it goes well. I feel like crap, but I'm here and, I'm ready to go.
All right, bud. Well, good luck. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I hope you feel better.
Thanks. I'll eat some dinner rolls and call you back tomorrow.
As we're getting ready to leave here, I can't help but think about one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Wait, you've never seen the Ferris Bueller movie? Oh my gosh. You've got to pause this video, go watch that movie, and then come back. All right, I'll wait. Go. Yeah, go. I'll wait for you. Go. Okay, you're back. And now you understand why that movie is such a classic, right? You see, that movie and our trip today are both about friendship and enjoying all that life has to offer. But here's what I'm really hoping for. I want this Chicago adventure to capture that spirit, that same spirit that Ferris had, that openness to shake things up, to say yes to adventure, and prioritize the people who matter most. So, as Ferris famously said, life moves pretty fast.
If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Which brings us to today. So as long as Christian can push through that stomach bug and get through the ceremony, we should have quite the adventure ahead of us. Time to head to the airport. We'll see you in Chicago. So as we head out to Chicago, I realize this trip and our story really started when Christian stepped out of his comfort zone and took a risk way back in high school. And that's where he first met Max and eventually Tessa too. You see, Christian joined his high school's improv team, where Max was already one of the founding members. I'll let Max tell you what happened when they first met.
Christian joined about a little under a year into the improv club existing, but I remember his friend had joined the team at the time, Raph, and Christian came in with Raph during an interview, and Raph was like, "You gotta meet this guy, he's super funny." And I looked behind him, I'm like, "Where's this dude?" And there's Christian just kind of like, and I was like, "This is comedy?" But he interviewed, or you auditioned and crushed it. And I was like, okay, this guy's quiet and calm, but when you put him in front of people, he's gonna light up. And honestly, it's been electric every time you perform.
What started as a high school activity quickly became something special. They were performing to standing room only crowds And over the past 10 years, we've watched Christian and Max grow not only as individuals, but as lifelong friends. This past year, that friendship came full circle when Christian had the honor of officiating Max and Tessa's wedding. And here's where it all ties back to this Chicago trip. At their reception, Max's aunt approached Christian and asked if he'd be willing to officiate her wedding in Illinois. Of course, he said yes. He was honored that she'd even consider it. So now that we've landed in Chicago, we're getting settled at the Hyatt and then plan to head out for the evening. We heard from Christian that the wedding went well, but he's still not feeling 100%. Tessa was kind enough to send us some footage from the ceremony, so here's a little snippet. By all accounts, it sounds like Christian did a great job, and knowing how miserable he was feeling makes it even more impressively pushed through. This makes wedding number 6 for Christian, something that not many 28-year-olds can say they've accomplished. You know, this brings back a very meaningful memory for Rachel and me. My father, a pastor, officiated our wedding some 30 years ago. Throughout his life, he officiated numerous weddings for loved ones. When Dad passed away 10 years ago, it felt like this huge void. Not just in our family, but in all those special moments where his presence had meant so much. So seeing Christian step into this role, carrying on that legacy of love and celebration that my father started, honestly, it's beyond words. There's something beautiful about how life comes full circle like that. And speaking of beautiful moments, look who we found. Here they are, our very own Sloan, Cameron, and Ferris enjoying their day off in Chicago. Oh, I mean Max, Tessa, and Christian, of course. Can't wait to explore this windy city with these amazing 3. Our plan for the next few days? Well, we're about to take an architectural boat tour, a must-do in Chicago. But outside of that, our plans are just to explore and have fun. Let's check out Chicago together. Okay, so we're here at the Chicago Bean, also officially called the Cloud Gate. And now we're gonna head off to connect with Christian and the kids. So let's go, Rachel, and head off that way. We've got the, oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yeah. What a trip. Hey, listen, while we've got your attention, I wanted to ask you if you would just be so kind as to subscribe. That'd be awesome. Now on to the video. As we end a couple of days filled with stories, laughter, and sights and sounds of this beautiful windy city, we're sad to see this short trip approach its end. Tomorrow morning, we'll try to squeeze in one last breakfast with this amazing trio before we all return to our respective jobs and routines. But tonight, as we reflect on everything we've experienced, we realize we got exactly what we hoped for. One of life's beautiful moments where we truly had an amazing day off together. Our final morning in Chicago, we're up at the crack of dawn with one mission: Kasama, one of the most popular restaurants in the city. We arrived at around 8 a.m., a full hour before they opened, because we heard the line stretches around the block. And with the plane to catch, we couldn't take any chances. Christian and Max showed up shortly after, though unfortunately Tessa had an early work call. Once inside, we dove into those famous pastries, Filipino breakfast, and breakfast sandwiches. And here's the best part. For the first time all trip, Christian's stomach was finally cooperating. He took one bite and declared it would be his death row meal. I'm planning a full Kasama review in a separate video, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But I'll say this, every bit of hype was completely justified. It was one of the best culinary experiences we've had in ages, and the perfect capstone to an unforgettable trip. After breakfast came the bittersweet moment, saying goodbye as we all scattered back to our different corners of the country. Rachel and I headed to our gate, Christian back to LA, and Max and Tessa to San Francisco. All of us carrying the memories of our perfect Chicago adventure with us. As I reflect on our time in Chicago, I can't help but think about how perfectly everything came together. Christian pushed through his illness to officiate a beautiful wedding. We got to explore this incredible city with 3 amazing young people, and we created memories that will last a lifetime. Sometimes the best trips aren't the ones you plan for months. They're the spontaneous adventures that remind you what really matters. Family, friendship, and being present for the moments that count. Ferris was right. Life does move pretty fast. But when you take the time to stop and look around, you realize you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Until our next adventure, keep packing those suitcases and keep exploring. And of course, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed our little day off in Chicago.
Go home.